We're here in Madison, Wisconsin for the big upgrade we've all been talking about, the Perspective Plus upgrade. And it's going in this plane. It's the first in the country to get it, all here at Wisconsin Aviation.
So Samantha, to start out, which aircraft are even capable of going from Perspective to Perspective Plus?
So your G3s and your G5s that already have prior Perspective installs.
Okay, so if you have an Avidyne aircraft, you can't go to Perspective
Correct.
Plus.
Yeah,
right.
you
Okay.
cannot.
But if you've got any Perspective aircraft, which started, you know, the second year into G3, because G3 started in 2007 or so.
Yep.
And then 2008, the G3 started coming with the G1000, which is considered Perspective.
Right.
So all those aircraft all the way through 2016 G5s are eligible for this upgrade.
Yes.
That then essentially turns it into a Generation 6 aircraft.
Yes. Yep.
Great.
From the base upgrade, or I should say the base upgrade, is from Perspective to Perspective Plus.
Correct.
So that involves just a total of 4 units, right?
Yep.
And so that's your PFD,
Yep.
MFD,
Correct.
controller keypad,
Yep.
and autopilot.
Your autopilot. Yep.
Okay, now this looks new.
It is new. It's a new rack. Your keypad and your autopilot control head. Your audio panel gets moved down into the last 2 holes of the existing rack, and then the rack that you put in also uses existing holes that are in the rack as well.
So it's interesting. It's almost like they knew that this was going to happen in the future, and they
Seemingly so.
yeah, and they designed the original rack from they came out with this rack back in 2008, and they designed it to accept this. So that's kind of interesting. All of the 2008 through 2016 models had a placard right here that said something. Some of them would say Cirrus, and mine said a Carbon X edition. And so that has to come out.
Yes.
That's where then the audio panel
Gets
goes
moved
down to,
Yep.
allowing more space for the keyboard,
Yes.
because the QWERTY keyboard requires that additional inch or so.
Yes. Yep.
Got it.
And then
Okay.
there is a slight modification to the radio stack cover as well.
Sure. The bezel, the G3 bezel around it.
Your bezel around it. Yep.
Yep.
Which was fairly easy. Not a problem at all.
So that's the base upgrade, which includes those 4 items. But then you guys are doing a lot more than that on this plane.
Correct.
So let's start talking about that. What else are we doing?
So GDL60,
Okay.
which has LTE and Wi-Fi capability.
Okay.
And that gets actually mounted underneath your co-pilot bolster panel. There is a rack that also uses existing holes, and then it gets mounted to the underside, and then your bolster panel gets mounted over top. And then the antenna for that gets mounted on your pilot side, kind of in and underneath your glare shield, close to your windscreen there.
Yep.
Along with that GDL60 install, it requires a fuse box to get mounted firewall forward. That will house like a glass fuse.
Let's take a look at that, where that's going.
Sure. Yeah.
This is just specifically for the GDL60.
Correct.
Okay, and where does that go?
So you have 2 bolts mounted into your firewall here that actually hold panel support on the inside.
Okay,
and
two
so-
existing bolts, so you
Yes.
don't have to make any more penetrations to the firewall?
Correct. Yep.
Okay.
And so you're just, and this will line up with those said bolts.
Nice, okay.
And mount right onto the top of your MCU.
Got it.
It's fairly simple. A fuse goes in one side and then a power terminal on the other that will connect onto the inside of your MCU. Yeah.
Okay, so what is the GDL60? What's the advantages to having it?
It gives you the capability to do database updates via LTE or Wi-Fi when your plane is on the ground.
That's great.
Yeah.
So if we have Wi-Fi in our hangar, we can program it to connect to that.
Yes.
If we don't, it'll connect to LTE.
Yep.
And I think it uses AT&T, right? So as long as we have AT&T service,
I believe it's AT&T, yes.
yep, then we're good. Any of us Garmin G1000 pilots are used to swapping cards. Even if you have Perspective Plus, until now, the GDL60 was not able to be installed with Perspective Plus. So any Generation 6, so 2017 through 2023 aircraft, they didn't have GDL60, and so we're always swapping cards. Some pilots choose to update over the 510, but that's even more clunky than just swapping your cards and having like 2 or 3 sets of cards with you at all times, so you can just easily swap cards. So instead, this will finally be up to date.
Up to date, yes.
Yep. And be able to be like the TXI, the 500 TXIs that you guys install, the 650, 750 combos. They all have that nice new technology of the GDL60, and now finally that's coming to Garmin pilots.
Yes. Yep.
Where I should say G1000 Cirrus pilots.
Yes. Yep.
Cool. 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 I love it. So then once a month or so, it'll update. Now, I was told that I was concerned about, okay, what if I don't have enough battery, voltage to support that? Doesn't it have some sort of like automatic shut off?
You can program a battery budget into the GDL60. It's in the configuration, so it only uses 2% of your battery, 3% of your battery.
Got it. And so it'll know if my voltage is
Too low, it won't do it.
good. It won't even boot up then.
Correct.
Yep.
Okay. Now, luckily, I keep it usually on a tender, both in Colorado and Wisconsin, so that probably is never going to be an issue. But in case I was on a ramp and it's low, I don't have to worry about it draining it any further.
Correct.
Okay, so now let's talk about the OEM standbys.
Okay.
So this plane had the GI275 that you guys actually upgraded from the analog units about 2 years ago or so. So fortunately, we've got the 275. If you don't have the 275, you can go with the 275 as part of this upgrade.
As an option, yes.
Which is kind of nice because then I think we're going to get full sync, right? Between our G1000 NXI and the GI275, it's going to full sync Barrow.
Yes,
right?
You're correct.
Great.
Barrow sync.
And it's going to be basically a third AHRS as a backup, kind of like it is now, but currently I don't have Barrow sync.
Great.
Correct.
So that'll be a nice feature. But fortunately, we happen to have a setup that allows us to have every single upgrade immediately. The only thing we're not going to get immediately is some of the software upgrades that aren't available yet that we'll talk about in a little bit.
I think that we should talk about how Flightstream 510 is an option and your GDL60 is an option, but you can't have both.
If you have the GDL60, there's really no need
Right.
to have a 510.
Right.
But if you don't want to spend the money on the GDL60, or if you don't need those features, don't want those features, you can just do the 510.
Yep. Database concierge with your
Right.
510.
Right.
Yep.
Yep. which is kind of a pain. I just swap cards. I had that on a 650 on our older Cirrus. I had the 510 and a 650. And I mean, at the time, this was maybe 4 years ago, the wireless updates on it weren't great. They weren't very easy.
Okay.
Swapping cards is super fast. Yeah. But now with the GDL60,
You don't even have to think about it.
right.
Yeah.
Right, which is really cool.
Right.
All right, so Justin, actually about 2 years ago,
Yeah, I'd say about.
installed this 345R. So this is the transponder that replaced, I had the 33ES.
Yes.
And so he put this in 2 years ago and it gained us some functionality. With this upgrade, you don't have to, did I have that right? You don't have to go with the 345R.
No, you don't.
Okay, so the Perspective Plus upgrade will work with the 33ES.
Yep.
But then you won't get some features that come with if you have the 345R
Correct.
that are free features,
Yep.
right?
Runway awareness.
Yep. Runway occupancy awareness,
That's it,
ROA.
yep.
So those come with for free. It was a little confusing. I thought that you had to buy Surface Watch in order to get those, but that's not the case. You get those for free if you have the 345R. So this is something you might want to consider. This is ADS-B in and out.
Yep, ADS-B in and out.
You could also do this by pairing the GDL88 gives you ADS-B in
Yep.
combined with the 33ES.
Yes.
Right? But then you still wouldn't, so if you did that as an upgrade, then you still would not get ROA.
Correct.
Right? So in short, if you're going to upgrade to ADS-B in and out, go with the 345R. And if you don't want to do the Perspective Plus upgrade immediately, you could have your shop pre-wire, right?
Yep.
Because 2 years ago, Justin didn't know about this upgrade. I didn't know about this upgrade coming out. So when you wired this, we're now needing to rewire.
Do a little bit of rewire. Yep. We have
Right.
to connect it via high-speed data bus to your PFD, and it's not done that yet.
Okay. So a high-speed data bus to the PFD.
Yep.
Anything else that has to be rewired? Is that it?
Yeah. We have to take out the FlightStream 210 that we installed.
That's right. Okay, so yeah, he upgraded it to the FlightStream 210 because it didn't have a FlightStream. And anyone that's used FlightStream, Bluetooth connectivity between your iPad or your iPhone and the MFD, it becomes like a need. Once you have it, you can't live without it. So Justin put that in 2 years ago, so we were able to take that out,
Yep.
save a little bit of weight there. I was able to sell that separately on the side. And then instead, the GDL60 is going to take on that Bluetooth connectivity.
Correct. Yep.
From the iPad or phone to the MFD for flight streaming purposes. And then it's also going to give us, like we said before, all the connectivity,
Yep,
all the
all the-
remote
yep.
connectivity. Yep.
Correct.
Via Wi-Fi or LTE, whichever one you're connected to.
This is our first dog shout out, and it goes to Harambe and his owner Mark out of Boston. We would like to include a dog shout out in every video moving forward, so if you would like your dog to be featured, just shoot us an email with a video of your dog, your name, your dog's name, and we'll get them featured in a shout out.
So the 345 are not a necessity with the upgrade, but if you're going to do this, there is wiring that's required, which then required Samantha to pull apart the entire interior to run that new wiring. And then you were able to use, or you're going to use the FlightStream 210 wiring loom as a fish line to pull through the new wiring. So that's good that we're saving a little bit of time there. But hardware-wise, you're saying you've got to run 2 additional shielded wires from this.
To your GIA1 and 2.
All right, so you're running 2 wires for that,
Yep.
then a high-speed data bus to the PFD.
Yep.
Correct.
Okay, so those 3 wires get ran from the 345.
Additional wires.
Oh, additional wires.
Yep.
Okay. So if somebody is going with the 345, say now or in the near future, and they're thinking about, okay, yeah, in 2 years or 3 years, I might go to the Perspective Plus, maybe it's a good idea
Have
to
the
run.
avionics shop look into it and
Yep.
pre-run some wires and label
Yep,
them.
because then you'll save yourself tearing out the whole interior in 2 or 3 years when you go to the Perspective Plus upgrade. So we've got Perspective Plus on this side, Perspective on that side, and you can see they're almost identical, right?
Yes.
But you see in the weights, I took another video of the weighing of the two of them. This is about 50% lighter. It's 3.5 pounds lighter
Yeah.
than, so this is the MFD, 3.5 pounds, PFD, another 3.5 pounds. So that's a huge weight savings. You're talking, well, 3.6, so 7.2 pounds that you're saving in just the PFD and MFD. You can see the buttons stand out a little bit more proud than they do on the Perspective. So buttons are a little taller. And then the Perspective buttons are a little bit lower profile.
They're a little more recessed. Yeah.
Yep. But besides that, the top bezel is just a little bit different. Same size screen, but much higher resolution, better pop of color, and then much snappier.
Yeah.
Right? Better response.
Like switching to maps and stuff like that. Yep.
And zooming.
And zooming. Yep.
So that's the screens differences. Then you have the controller differences. So here's the controller stack for Perspective Plus. Here's the controller stack for Perspective. And you can see the controllers themselves. The controller's taller on the Perspective Plus, right? Perspective Plus. You've got the screws on the perimeter of the Perspective. You don't have any fasteners exposed on the Perspective Plus. And then your autopilot controller is taller on the Perspective Plus, again, without the fasteners exposed. So that leads to a total of about just over an inch.
Just a little over an inch, about 1.25 inches.
Yep, so that little placard that we had down here is going to be removed.
Correct.
Then you don't have to do this, but this is the audio panel that comes with, let's see here, 2008 through, I think, 2013, no, 2012. 2008 through 2012 come with the GMA347. The 2013s, I think, were upgraded to the 350, but not the 350C. The 350C didn't come out till 2018 or something like that.
Yeah.
So you could take the opportunity to go to the 350C. I had done this 2 years ago with you guys.
Yeah.
So we don't have to spend any money there, extra money there. But if you don't have the 350C, it's a really good time to upgrade to that. The audio quality is so much better on the 350, and then the 350C gains you the Bluetooth connectivity. So that's pretty nice to have. And then also the buttons match then perfectly. So if you look at the type of buttons, they match.
The font and styles are the same. Yep.
Versus if you take, you would have this look, which is not quite there. It's not quite as polished. Let's talk about how you modified the bezel.
The bezel. Originally, there was a piece of plastic that went across the bottom here, and it kind of had a seam, so I just trimmed it out, and then beforehand, obviously, pulled Jake's Alcantara back so that it didn't get damaged in removing the material, and then just simply glued it back after it was done.
Turned out great. You did a great job.
Thank you.
And then in theory, none of this will interfere because your audio panel is now going to be nice and tight. So it looks super clean. Then here is the old Flightstream 210. That's not needed anymore because the functionality of this is replaced with the
GDL60.
GDL60.
Yes.
Samantha, why don't you tell us about the old GDL69A versus the new GDL69A? They sound like they're the same thing.
I mean, they look like they're the same thing.
They do.
You can't really tell a difference.
Right.
The only difference is between one and the other is XM and SXM.
Okay.
So if you currently have one and expect it to work with your new Perspective Plus system, it will not.
Okay, so the old one, the 69A XM,
yeah.
without the S,
Correct.
if you have that one, you don't want to pay for the new one, you can do so. You can remove the old one.
You can remove
right?
the old one, yeah.
And just not have one.
Yep.
But then you lose XM
Radio
and weather.
Yes.
Okay.
Correct. But then you still get weather and traffic with your GTX345
Right.
ADS-B in and out.
Right.
Yep.
The nuts and bolts difference between the two hardware units. They look identical. They have almost identical model numbers to them. Cirrus at some point in time is going to stop transmitting
Correct.
this older tech.
To the XM. Yep.
Okay.
So the XM model is becoming obsolete.
Okay, gotcha. And
Yep.
that's then what led to Garmin and Cirrus deciding to not support
Correct.
this tech. Okay,
Yes.
because that would have required a whole different STC.
Yep.
Gotcha. Okay, so if you don't want to pay for the new 69A SXM, you don't have to. You're not forced to do that.
Right.
You can simply take out your old, and you just will not have satellite audio,
Yep.
or so radio,
Radio.
or satellite weather.
Correct.
But you can get your weather from your 345R.
Yep.
It's just that the downside of that is
The refresh rates.
right.
They're
Okay,
slower.
so it's closer to 7 or 10 minutes versus 2 minutes.
Correct.
And then resolution is not as good, I
Yeah,
believe,
right.
And accuracy. I could be wrong on this, but correct me in the comments if we're off on any of this. But I believe that ADS-B weather has those downsides to it. So slower refresh, lower resolution, and lower accuracy compared to Cirrus. That's basically all of the hardware
Yeah.
right there on
Yes.
the table.
Yep.
New versus old. And then the only other differences is wiring and then all your programming.
Yeah. Yep.
Right.
The configurations and the software updates and stuff. Yep.
So then obviously the GDL60 that you already installed.
Yes.
That is not on the table. That's already in the plane.
Yep.
That then has that separate antenna,
Yep.
which you also saw. So all of that is the hardware. We'll get a weight and balance difference, but we're thinking it's roughly, because we're saving about 7.2 pounds with the screens.
Yep.
But then we're probably gaining with the wiring and the GDL60 antenna and the GDL60 itself, we're probably gaining 3.5 to 4 pounds.
Something like that,
Sound
yeah.
about right?
Yep.
So we're still gonna, even with adding all of this new technology and functionality, we're gonna be losing about 4 pounds,
Roughly. Yeah.
right? Or call it 3.5 to be safe. Enablements. Gets kind of confusing, but to clarify, it sounds like if you have existing enablements, you get them included for free with the
With-
new
The
upgrade.
exchange ones, yep.
Yep.
Okay, so we already have synthetic vision, so we're gonna get that for free, right? We already have TAWS-B, so we're gonna get that for free.
Yep.
What else do we have? Jet charts, we have that.
You have Jet Chart, and then you have
gonna get
the
those.
AFCS.
Thank you. Yeah, they call it the enhanced AFCS.
Yep.
Yeah.
So that we're gonna get for free as well. Then there's some additional enablements. What are those?
Surface Watch.
Okay, yep. We get 3D
did.
Taxi for free, and that's important. To me, that's a really good new feature. That's a feature that's coming only in the G7s. The G6 has never had it. The only year of G6 that can currently get this upgrade is the 2017. So this one has the GIA63W.
Yes.
All the way till 2018. 2018, they switched it to the GIA64. That STC has not come out yet,
Correct.
right?
Yep.
So the only G6 that can get this upgrade currently is the 2017 with the 63W.
SVT is Garmin's synthetic vision technology, and it basically gives you a 3D look right out of your PFD of the terrain, obstacles, and traffic. Here you can see a Garmin G1000 Perspective without SVT, and here you can see a Garmin G1000 Perspective Plus with SVT. TAWS-B, or Garmin's Terrain Awareness Warning System, includes forward-looking terrain avoidance. On the Perspective Plus, there's 3 colors. There's green, yellow, and red. Versus Perspective, there's only 2 colors.
The green represents 2,000 feet, yellow represents 1,000 feet, and red represents 100 feet. TAWS-B also provides terrain awareness audible alerts like terrain or 500 feet. The Jeppesen chart enablement is simply just to display Jeppesen charts instead of the standard FAA charts on your MFD. It's really personal preference. Some prefer Jeppesen, some prefer FAA. Garmin allows you to choose either one. If you choose Jeppesen, you got to pay a little bit more. Enhanced AFCS is Garmin's automatic flight control system for the NXI. That includes ESP or electronic stability protection. It also includes underspeed protection, which they refer to as USP, and basically that lowers the nose to prevent a stall. And then it also offers on the NXI the go-around feature. Garmin's Surface Watch is designed to reduce or prevent incursions or accidents on both taxiways and runways. It provides both visual and audio alerts regarding runway distance or incorrect runway alignment. With the taxiway routing enablement, you're able to type in on your MFD your cleared path or cleared route from your current location all the way to your destination runway. That displays on the 2D MFD map, and now with the Perspective Plus upgrade, it also displays on your 3D PFD. Garmin's ROA or Runway Occupancy Awareness is a free feature if you have the GTX345R transponder. It uses ADS-B in and out technology of the 345R to alert you if there's any other aircraft pulling out on the runway in front of you, or if you're the aircraft that's down on the taxiway, it'll give you an alert if you're pulling out onto a runway and there's a plane coming in. This includes both audible and visual alerts on both the MFD and the PFD. Garmin's VSD or Vertical Situation Display is a free feature that comes with the G1000 NXI or the Garmin Perspective Plus. It allows your MFD to display a terrain profile view of your flight path. The G1000 NXI or Perspective Plus comes with a feature called Visual Approaches. It basically takes your current position and you can choose any runway at almost any airport, and it creates a 3-degree glide path all the way down to the runway. This feature can be used in visual conditions only, but it's really nice if you're flying visually into an airport that you're not very familiar with, but you don't want to fly the entire published instrument approach. The Flightstream 510 is an option. It's a little SD card that pops into the bottom slot of the MFD in the NXI. It allows flight plan transfer to and from your mobile device using either ForeFlight or Garmin Pilot. During the flight, if you update your flight plan on the MFD, it'll actually then transfer that flight plan automatically back to your mobile device. Flightstream 510 also allows the use of Database Concierge by Garmin. Database Concierge allows the updating of your databases from Garmin Pilot on your mobile device via Bluetooth to the MFD. This has to be done in person with the MFD powered on. The GDL60 option is in place of the Flightstream 510. It performs everything that the Flightstream 510 does, plus more. It provides you with remote access to your aircraft. You can see all of its data, TKS, fuel, oxygen, etc. At the moment, it's a snapshot in time that's provided and uploaded to the server. In a future software update, it's going to be full plane sync compatible, meaning you can wake up the aircraft at any time from any location from your mobile device and check all of your metrics. Active currently on the GDL60 is automatic database updates. The plane will wake up every 8 days, check for updates, download those updates, and then next time you turn on your MFD, those updates will be installed. No more swapping SD cards and no more Database Concierge. Another feature currently active on the GDL60 is automatic flight data uploading. You just log into your flygarmin.com account and you choose the server of your choice for Garmin to upload to. In my case, I use Savvy Aviation. After each shutdown of the MFD, the GDL60 will automatically send my engine data to Savvy Aviation. Then Savvy will send me an email confirming that they received the engine data. Then I can log in at any time from anywhere and look at all the different metrics. This is a great way to monitor your engine and airframe data. Versus before, I used to always have to pop out the SD card after say 10 flights or so, download the flights to my computer, upload them to Savvy Site. Now it's just all automatic.
If you don't have the physical cards, your original physical cards of your enablements, that the new ones then are not free.
Correct. Because they will credit you for the new ones when you send back the old ones.
Yep, so it's crucial to have your cards, your actual enablement cards, and they're stored in the back luggage compartment. I'll show you where they're stored.
I found it's easiest to just pull your weather stripping like that. And then there's a rug or a carpet. You just pull back right here. These are the new cards that they sent in replacement of your old cards. So you have to make sure you keep all of these in the aircraft, ideally in that location at all times. So we've got your software loader, you've got your TAWS-B for terrain, you've got enhanced AFCS, and then you've got synthetic vision, and then your Jefferson charts, and then I'm getting surface watch and taxiway routing. So these will be filled as well.
All that old equipment that you guys took out
Yep.
is part of the upgrade fee. They
Yes.
figure in you sending back that equipment. Otherwise, there's going to be additional charge if you don't.
Correct.
And
that
it has
does
to
not
be
in-
operational.
Yes.
Right?
And that does not include your options. So if you're going to a 345R, you don't have to send in your 33E.
Right.
Yep.
Just like my 69A, I'm able to take that, sell that privately.
Yeah.
My flight stream, I'm able to take that, sell that privately.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Okay, so let's talk about downtime.
Sure.
I think you mentioned, Samantha, about a week total, 40 hours of labor.
About roughly 40 hours, yeah.
To do just the base upgrade.
Yes.
So the 2 screens, keyboard, autopilot, that right there, 1 week.
Yeah.
Then if you do the GDL60,
Yeah.
add a week.
Add a week.
If you're adding, though, the 345R,
Yep.
that adds another bit.
It
Probably close to a week.
probably.
So you're looking at 3 weeks if you go with everything.
Yes.
That sounds about right. So roughly 3x the work of just doing the base upgrade if you do
Right.
everything. But it's a good time to do all those things
While
if you're gonna have everything torn apart anyways.
Yep. Might as well
time to-
just get it all done.
Right.
Yeah.
Or pre-wired.
Or pre-wired for
Right.
later. Yeah.
Right. And now you know what to pre-wire for.
Yep.
Cool.
Yeah.
Well, thank you both.
You're welcome.
We're in good hands here at Wisconsin Aviation.
Rhythm is a dancer, it's a source companion. People feel it everywhere. Lift your hands and voices, free your mind and join us. You can feel it in the air. Oh, it's a passion. Oh, you can feel it, yeah. It's a passion.
First long flight with the Cirrus Perspective Plus upgrade. I wanted to show you guys the features of the PFD and MFD as opposed to the G1000 because that's what you'd be coming from is the standard G1000. And then I wanted to also go over the new features that the PFD has over the Perspective Plus that has been in the G6 since 2017. So we'll start here with the PFD. Couple things you'll notice that's nice that has been on the G6 for the last 8 years. That is nice. It's great when your radio tells you who you're talking to. Also, your identifier is labeled, so you don't need the ugly little sticker right there anymore. The fact that we have Celsius and Fahrenheit. On the G1000, you can only select one. So that's really nice having both always displayed. And then your AGL, that's huge, especially for CAPS altitudes. Determining your AGL is really nice on the fly. Any other emergency situation that you come across, especially when you're flying out in the mountains like this, that comes in handy big time. This heading sync mode is really nice. Before I used to always sync by heading bug. If you're on nav, which I am, and you click it, sync mode turns on. So I think that's been on the G6 for the last 8 years. That's awesome. Now we finally get to enjoy that and not have to always sync up the heading bug. And then if you want to unsync it, obviously you just click it in. Flight timer. That is really nice. Let's talk about the MFD. The MFD, I'll tell you my disappointment first. Everything else is a plus. See my fuel flow? I used to have 2 gauges to the left of that showing left and right tanks. Just like this. But they were in sync with what was on the MFD. And so this was an unpleasant surprise, and it caught Wisconsin Aviation by surprise as well. They called Cirrus, talked to Garmin, talked to Cirrus. It's not approved yet. Software update coming to bring the syncing of, so if your plane has upgraded CIS, I think they're called, or CEIS, I believe, I can correct it in the description. If they have the electronic fuel senders upgrade, which are so much better than the analogs, you, for now, will not receive your fuel quantities on your MFD. Keep that in mind. Software update coming. I'm going to try to press them, to try to get that updated as soon as possible. Another disappointment is checklists. It's a G6 checklist only. There's no new checklist for the G3, G5.
The only instruction that's incorrect, it's got to be the top slot, not the bottom slot. Bottom slot does not work. I removed all of the cards because that does mess with the GDL60. I bought 3 dummy blank cards to put in there to fill the slots, but this works. If you follow that procedure, checklists are all right there. You got your groups, they're all correct. Enter. Everything works correctly.
Let's talk about all the positives. So the terrain, so much better. Super snappy. Look at this. You know how slow that was, and how the terrain just was not as accurate at all or as detailed on the G1000. We also have a glide ring. So that is a best glide ring in an emergency, which is fantastic. Then what we don't show right now, which we will coming up here, because we're in the middle of nowhere, there's no great emergency airport. There is no emergency airport. So this is for sure a CAPS event if we have an emergency. But you'll see later, this airport, once it gets within glide path distance, there's a little dashed line that automatically connects to that airport, and then if there's another one that's closer, it automatically will connect to that. And that way you can, in the nearest section, you can hit then direct to right to that airport, or you can hover over it, click on it, and then hit direct to, and that way the autopilot can fly you directly to that airport in an emergency, which is nice. It's going to do it, the autopilot's going to automatically do it at best glide while you then talk to ATC, and go through all your emergency procedures. The G6 owners have had that for 8 years now, but finally it's coming to the G3s and 5s. The GI275, I highly recommend that versus the 3 analogs. I don't remember the exact weight savings, but it is a couple pounds going from the 3 analogs to the GI275. One slight disappointment is that until a future software update comes out, you'll not have synthetic vision on the 275. Not a need, just a want. That synthetic vision right there, after a software upgrade, will be displayed right there. One really nice thing is that now we have baro sync. Whatever you change on this barrel will automatically change on this barrel. I had the GI275 with the old G1000, and that would not talk to each other. It would not baro sync, so this is really nice that it has it. Alright, so see how this arrow goes to that airport? That means that we can glide there safely. So that's a nice feature of the Perspective Plus. And then if another airport comes into range that's better or closer or with a longer runway, it's constantly comparing and giving you the best possible, and you can hover over it, click on it, hit direct to enter, and the nav will take you there while you attend to the emergency. The keyboard is really nice. I did not realize how a QWERTY keyboard is so much better than the old one. Also, having the numbers in a row like this, so much better. The buttons are way easier to hit, to find, better click on it. They're about double the size of the old one, so I do like that. The autopilot is almost identical to what it was before, just a different layout. And now flight level change instead of indicated airspeed. So indicated airspeed is replaced with flight level change. It does the exact same thing as indicated airspeed. And then the GMA350C, obviously. Initial impressions are great. Couple of slight disappointments, but it's all things that Cirrus and is going to work with Garmin on to get software updates sent out to these new owners of this Perspective Plus system. And once we have those updates, we'll be up and running just like a G6 with additional features that the G6 doesn't have, like the 3D taxi and runway occupancy awareness. Couple of final notes is that your first flight, and ideally on the ground before you fly, if you can connect to a GPU, spend an hour or two going through all the settings. There are so many settings for the PFD and the MFD as far as visually. I just spent maybe 2 hours going through everything and kind of getting it the way that I like it. Until you do that, you're kind of uncomfortable. At least that's how I am. I'm so used to seeing something, and it was so familiar, and now it's not familiar. Your stress level goes up. You don't want that. So on the ground, try to get it as close as possible to your comfort level. Then once you get airborne and you're in cruise, in VMC, and everything's all good, then spend a bunch of time and do all the things that you can't do on the ground. Another note, Cirrus XM. So when you do this, that process kind of a pain in the butt. You call up Cirrus XM, and you have to be in the plane. They'll flash it. It takes about 45 minutes for the MFD to download all the data. They transfer you usually a bunch of times. I've got nothing but terrible things to say about Cirrus XM's customer service. They're absolutely horrendous. But their tech is great. For $63 a month, you've got assurance that you have the best possible weather on the MFD. So that's what we went with. You don't have to get that. You can choose for your old GDL69A to be removed, and then you can do ADS-B weather. So they call that FIS-B weather. So you can do that. There's a good comparison on Cirrus XM's website comparing XM weather to ADS-B weather.
So check that out, see what's important to you. To me, we do a lot of cross country and over the mountains, so I want the weather to be as accurate as possible and as up to date as possible. So that's why we went with the Cirrus. But otherwise, save the money and go with ADS-B. And then also you could save like maybe one. The other pleasant surprise is that you lose 7 pounds by doing this upgrade. So that's awesome. 7 pounds is big. Look at this. For the first time in human history, there is a slight tailwind heading westbound over the mountains. Has this ever happened to anyone? Normally we have minimum 20 knot headwind, usually a 50, 60 knot headwind. So we're making great time. This is the first consumer Cirrus in the world to get the upgrade. There's one in Australia being done right now, and then there's the one that Cirrus did. This airplane is the first in the world to get everything. So when I say everything, we're talking the GDL69A SXM, the Perspective Plus upgrade, obviously, the GMA350C, the GI275, and the GTX345R transponder. If you do all the hardware, then it allows you to do all the software. Otherwise, you have software constraints. So now that one of these has been done for a consumer in the United States, I'd highly recommend Wisconsin Aviation for the upgrade. Now they're dialed in, they know exactly what to do, exactly what not to do, the exact wiring that's needed between the new G1000 and the transponder in the tail, because that was a whole thing too. The wiring diagram that Cirrus and Garmin made was missing the high-speed data link that was required. So our shop worked with, I think it was working with Garmin in order for them to get it to Cirrus, for Cirrus to put it into the STC installation manual. So that hopefully will be updated the next week or so. So probably by the time this video comes out, those issues will be gone for the next consumers. So anyone doing this upgrade after me, which is now, you're all set. Everything's been kind of discovered, all kinks worked out. You should be able to contact Ryan at Wisconsin Aviation. I'll put his contact in the description, and he'll be able to easily then walk you through every option for hardware, every option for software, all the enablements, and get you some good recommendations, and then some really good pricing. I got some pricing from some additional shops just to see, and I would say, so far, Wisconsin Aviation is by far the most economical, and now they have the experience of doing it hands-on. Setting light is on. Keeping power in to keep the engine nice and warm. Going down at 2,000 feet per minute. That's the only thing about flying in IFR here to our home airport, Nukla. So much safer than flying in Telluride, but they dump you off usually a few thousand feet too high. So you got to spiral down quickly. I'm just losing altitude as quickly as I can here. Okay, where's the field? I had it. Oh, it's right there. Okay, we could probably get down now. Something else to mention is automatic yaw damper kicks in at 200 feet, AGL. Nuclear traffic, Cirrus 46 Tango Romeo, 5 miles to the east, inbound for a full stop, runway 23, Nukla. There we go. Now with this 4-blade prop, we'll be able to slow down no problem. So yaw damper. My G1000 had a yaw damper, as most of them do. But supposedly, according to my shop and according to several others, mine for some reason had automatic yaw damper. I never had to hit the button. It just came on automatically. If there's anyone else out there that has an automatic yaw damper, please speak up on a G1000. Because supposedly, makes you full rich. I'm not full rich. I'm like 80%. So yeah, my old yaw damper would kick in at 200 feet, and then it would turn off at 200 feet, you know. So kick in when you're ascending, and then it would turn off when you're descending. And according to several sources, that was a unique feature. Everyone thought that it wasn't supposed to have that. But it did. Whereas the Perspective Plus, it is supposed to have that. So it works just fine. So if you don't have automatic yaw damper and you do this upgrade, you will end up having automatic yaw damper. Okay, there we go. 50% flaps. Damper still on. Good. Now we're all set. Hopkins traffic, Cirrus 46 Tango Romeo. 3 miles out. 2-3 final. Hopkins. Really nice airport here in the valley.
Altitude.
Just west of Telluride. Costs nothing compared to Telluride. So much safer. And they have one instrument approach. So we love it here. Flaps at 100. Landing lights on. Boost pump is on. Watch that airspeed.
500.
What a piece of shit. Watch that airspeed. There's some snow here. That's super rare. Down in the valley, it's like a desert. Oh, I can tell we're light. Okay, ride that wheelie. There we go. Flaps at 50. Pitot heat's coming off. I wish pitot heat was automatic. They still say, I believe, even with Perspective Plus, they say don't run it on the ground more than 45 seconds, so I don't. I just pull back my elevator to help slow it down. Even though we've got the Behringers and can stop on a dime, they're still expensive to replace the pads. Alright, trim is set. Hopkins Field, Cirrus 46 Tango Romeo, back taxi. Hopkins. On the ground, I always lean my engine. It reduces carbon buildup in the engine. And my oil reports come back with very little lead. They always comment about how little lead is in my oil. And I think it's because on the ground, I run it very lean. The only time I go full rich is when you have to. Climb, and then the last bit of descent. And people have made comments asking, okay, full rich and a turbo, or full rich, are you sure? And in a naturally aspirated, no, you would not do full rich in the mountains. But in a turbo, it guides you to. But I take density altitude into account. So depending on temperature, I change how rich I truly go. Home sweet home. See you in the next one.
If you want to see more content like this, subscribe to our channel. And if you liked the video, then hit the like button. Leave a comment and let us know what you would have done differently if you were in the cockpit.